Welcome to Bitcoin and Crypto News, and thank you for joining me today. If you like the video, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe. Today, we're going to take a look at Celsius Network. So let's begin with, what is Celsius Network? It is a blockchain-based lending platform operated by the use of blockchain technology. Celsius allows its members to borrow dollars against their crypto assets for a loan. It also allows their users to earn interest when they deposit or lend their crypto out. Personally, one of the biggest factors that I believe will lead people into the world of crypto is the ability to earn on their stablecoins, which we'll get into a little bit later on in the video, but let me just tell you now, the earnings are incredible. But before we take a look into the company, let's take a look at the man who started it all. CEO and founder, Alex Mashinsky. He is an entrepreneur who has founded several companies over the past 20 years, including Celsius Network, GroundLink, Transit Wireless, and many others. He is most known as the inventor of VoIP, or Voice over IP, which today enables over 1 billion people worldwide to use voice over internet for free, which led to the development of things like FaceTime, Skype, and the ever-popular Zoom. And a fun fact is, if you've ever been in a New York City subway, the reason you have internet service down there is thanks to Alex Mashinsky. His new focus, however, is on disrupting banking and how banks operate, and he's doing so by creating Celsius Network. So, switching gears, how's this new project doing? Well, let's take a look at some of the numbers on Celsius's growth. Also note, I am writing this in December 2020, so these numbers may be different. Currently, they have processed $8.2 billion in loans and have over 265,000 users. The total assets in the community is over $3.3 billion. Chainalysis did an audit on December 9th, 2020, in which they confirmed that the company does in fact have 3.3 billion assets under management. Here's a screen grab from an article about the Chainalysis report. So you may be asking yourself, how did this company grow to have over 265,000 users? I mean, sure, crypto is getting more and more popular, especially after Bitcoin crossed over $20,000 earlier this month. But we're still in the very early phase, with the reported less than 1.5% of the global population involved in crypto in any way. Well, firstly, it's those sweet rewards that I mentioned earlier. Here's a look at some of the rewards that Celsius is currently offering. As of right now, they're offering 10.51% on US dollar and other stablecoins such as Tether, Binance USD, and USDC. Also, they have impressive rates on things like Ethereum, where they're offering 5.5% or 6.2% on Bitcoin, plus many other rates depending on where you're located. Personally, I'm in New York, so I'm only able to lend with Bitcoin, Ethereum, US dollar, and their own coin, Celsius. So you may be thinking that 10.51% seems pretty high on a stablecoin. Considering most banks offer 0.1%, it definitely is a big change. Just to show the impact of that 10.5%, let's imagine you invest $1,000. 1 year later, with it deposited on Celsius, you would have earned $100 in interest. With that same money in your bank, you would have earned a whole $1. At that rate, you're not even beating inflation in a typical year, which is around 2%, but in 2020, with all the money printing, that may be closer to 20% this year. Those rewards seem a little bit too good to be true, so how can Celsius afford to pay out that high? I mean, doesn't this sound a little bit like that Bitconnect thing? Well, not exactly. So let's take a look at how they can afford to give you 10% on your US dollar and other rewards on your crypto. Similar to a bank who lends out the dollars that you deposit, Celsius lends your coins out, and instead of keeping the 15 to 20% that they earn on your money, they pay out a larger percentage to you. CEO and founder Alex Mashinsky has stated that they have made a commitment to give back 80% of the money earned from your funds. So why would I take a loan out with Celsius? Can't I just sell my crypto? So there are a couple of reasons why you wouldn't want to do this. Let's say you're invested in crypto, but you don't have extra cash flow, or an unexpected expense comes up. What do? You either sell your crypto, but then you have to pay the taxes on those capital gains and use that money to cover the expense, which is always an option, but you may be taking yourself out of a position which you have built up over the past weeks, months, or even years. And you could be potentially missing out on the upside of those coins, which, let's be honest, is the main reason that most of us are here investing in crypto. Or, thanks to companies like Celsius and BlockFi, you can use your crypto as collateral and get a loan in the fiat that you can repay. Doing this allows you to keep your position while getting the fiat that you need. So that sounds great, but there's got to be a drawback. Well, first, there is interest on the loan, but that would happen if you went to the bank anyway. The main drawback is that the cost of collateral for the loan is much higher due to the added risk of being involved in the crypto market. So essentially, you would have to put up more capital than what you were trying to borrow in fiat. For instance, if I was to borrow $10,000, the collateral that I would need would be 1.7092 Bitcoin, or about $39,000. You can adjust this by changing the loan to value percentage, which will reduce the total collateral needed to 0.84423 Bitcoin, or right around $19,000. A benefit of borrowing this way is that if your coin's value increase, you may be able to pay your loan back quicker due to the increase in price. But borrowers can't be the only people who benefit from Celsius. Another person that would benefit is the lender. As Albert Einstein once said, compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. He who understands it, earns it. He who doesn't, pays it. Or my favorite quote explaining compound interest is from Benjamin Franklin, who said, "Money makes money, and the money that makes money makes money." So let your money work for you. So instead of keeping your crypto on an exchange or in a wallet where the only growth is from price appreciation, you can make it go work for you. You can continue to grow your stack every week since Celsius pays out the rewards weekly. So what are the pros and cons? Well, first, let's begin with the negatives. Celsius is a centralized exchange, meaning you keep your coins in your account, but they are the ones holding your funds for you. Yes, you can withdraw at any time, but ultimately, Celsius is the one responsible for keeping your funds safe. Until you withdraw them, despite all the safety measures that Celsius implements, you have to worry that your funds could be stolen by hackers or lost due to a wide array of issues. Celsius has said that they would try to cover any lost funds if something were to happen, but they are not FDIC insured, so there is no way of knowing until something happens. As of writing this, there's been no such issues, so Celsius thus far has a good track record. Next, when borrowing fiat from Celsius, you're putting some or all of your cryptocurrencies as collateral. Considering the high volatility of crypto, Celsius implements a margin call, meaning that if your collateral value drops over a certain price, they will ask you to add more to meet the minimum coverage of your loan. Lastly, there is no website to view your account. Celsius does have a website to go over facts and gather information about the product, but there is no website where you can log on and view your account. Currently, everything is done through their mobile apps. Despite this, their apps are constantly updated and continue to improve. Now let's take a look at some of the pros. First, there are no withdrawal fees. That is almost unheard of in crypto. But with Celsius, there are no fees when withdrawing your money and taking it off the exchange. Another feature is no minimum deposits. This was huge for me because I'm a strong believer of not your keys, not your coins. But come on, even Albert Einstein said compound interest is too good to turn down. That's what I thought, but I was also skeptical to move my funds to an exchange that I didn't have control of. So I moved a small portion of my holdings to test it out. Since there is no minimum, this allows any investor to begin using their service. Another great feature is that there is no lockup period. Especially in the world of staking in ETH 2.0, where your coins are locked away for 2 years, Celsius offers no lockup period. You can withdraw your funds at any time, and remember, with no fees. So you're not stuck with your coins being locked up on an exchange for a set amount of time in hopes to get a reward. If you feel like you want to take them off, you can do so whenever you want. And since they're not a bank, it doesn't have to be between 9 and 5, Monday through Friday. Also, they offer no credit check loans. This feature really speaks to their slogan of unbanking yourself. Since you're putting your crypto up as collateral, there is no credit check required when applying for a loan. For non-US customers, you can either earn in kind or with their CEL token. For instance, if you deposit Bitcoin, you can either choose to earn your rewards in Bitcoin or in CEL token. But this is currently not available in the US. So I just mentioned their CEL token. Let's take a look at that next. The CEL token is a utility token, and it gives you access to higher rates on earning and lower rates on loans. It's based on how many coins you hold in your Celsius wallet. Currently, the increased rates for earning is not available in the US. So does that mean if you're in the US that you shouldn't really care about CEL token? Not if you take a look at its performance. It has been one of the top performing assets of the year, currently trading at around $3.64, with a market cap just over $1.4 billion and $6 million in 24-hour trading volume. And if you take a look at the last year, it is up over 3,262%, as well as right around 60% over the last 30 days. So even if you can't take advantage of the better rates, the potential for price appreciation is there, especially if Celsius can continue to grow and develop on their promise to unbank their customers. But remember, just because it went up this year or this week, that it does not mean it will continue to do so. So be sure to do your own research before buying or investing in any asset. Here I've put some links for some great information on Celsius. First is an interview with Scott Melker, where he interviewed Alex Mashinsky on his Wolf of Wall Street's podcast. Also, I included a link where you could follow Alex on Twitter. A place that I find a lot of great information is on their Reddit page. So let's wrap the video up. Personally, I've been using Celsius for about 6 months now. I've been interested in the company for about a year, but never really took the time to dive into it. But after the crash in March and seeing how well Celsius managed it, I decided to take the deep dive and look into it. So far, I couldn't be happier with my experience, and the weekly rewards are a great driver to keep building my stack and earn more rewards. The app is very basic, but continues to get more functionality and become less glitchy over time. Just in the 4 months that I've been using it, it has vastly improved. One of my favorite features that they offer in the app is their HODL mode. This allows you to lock withdrawals from your account and gives you a passcode. If you want to make a withdrawal, you need to enter your passcode disabling the HODL mode, which takes 24 hours to be removed from your account. So you will not be able to withdraw for those 24 hours. Another security measure is that you can pre-add one withdrawal address for each coin. So this means your funds can only be withdrawn to that specific wallet. This, along with the HODL feature, would give you over 24 hours to account that your account has been hacked before anyone can withdraw your funds. One thing to be aware of, if you are a person who likes to trade when the market turns south, you will not be able to withdraw your funds for over 24 hours. But since I'm a long-time holder, this is not an issue for me. If I had to make one complaint, it would be that their promos are not always clear. They typically announce new promotions during an AMA, which is a weekly interview that Alex does on their Celsius YouTube channel. As of this week, they just added a new feature where you can track your promos and track which ones you've applied to your account. But as of right now, there is no way to see your process towards achieving the goal. For instance, if it is to deposit $2,000 in Bitcoin, you can see that you've applied it to your account, but you cannot track how many dollars you've sent or how many more you need to send to achieve the goal. But with that being said, Celsius has posted in their Reddit forums that they are aware of the issues and are continuing to develop a better product. So by the time you're watching this, that may already be resolved. Thanks for checking out the video. I hope this information helps you learn a little bit about Celsius and what they have to offer. I have no staking in Celsius aside from using it and holding a very small amount of Cell token that I've purchased just to test it out. But I thought that they offer some great services and could be useful to many people. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment. And if you liked the video, please hit the thumbs up and subscribe. Also, if you're thinking about signing up for Celsius, I do have a referral link in the description where you can earn $20 in Bitcoin for your first deposit of $200 or more. Have a great day, and remember, buy the dips, stack sats, and chill.